Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel Spoken Pronunciation. I'm so excited to have you here today because we're going to talk about something that's super important for anyone learning English. The topic is stop thinking, start talking. Now, if you're someone who feels nervous or scared to speak English, this video is for you. If you've ever thought, what if I make a mistake? Or what if people don't understand me? Then you're not alone. So many English learners struggle with this. They worry about grammar, pronunciation, or sounding perfect, and that fear stops them from speaking. But here's the truth. If you want to be fluent in English, you have to stop overthinking and just start talking. In this video, I'm going to explain why overthinking is such a big problem, and I'll give you practical tips and mindset shifts to help you speak English confidently. So, if you're ready to take your English to the next level, stay with me until the end. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the problem. Why do so many English learners overthink before speaking? One of the biggest reasons is the fear of making mistakes. Many learners think, what if I say something wrong? What if people laugh at me? This fear is so strong that it keeps them silent. Instead of practicing and improving, they stay quiet because they're scared of being judged. But here's something you need to know. Native speakers make mistakes all the time. Yes, even people who have spoken English their whole life mess up sometimes. They mispronounce words, forget grammar rules, and sometimes say things that don't make perfect sense. But the difference is, they don't overthink it. They keep talking, and that's how they improve. Another reason learners overthink is translating from their native language. Let me explain what I mean. When you're speaking English, do you first think of the sentence in your own language and then try to translate it word by word? If yes, then this is slowing you down. For example, let's say you want to say, I'm going to the store, but instead of saying it directly in English, you first think of it in your native language, translate each word, and then try to put it together. By the time you're ready to speak, the conversation has already moved on. This is why translating in your head makes it harder to speak naturally. And then there's lack of confidence. Some learners feel like their accent isn't good enough, or their vocabulary is too small. They think, I'll never sound like a native speaker, so why even try? But here's the thing, the less you speak, the more nervous you feel. It becomes a cycle of overthinking and avoiding English conversations. Now that we understand the problem, let's talk about the solution. Why is speaking without overthinking the key to fluency? The answer is simple. Fluency comes from practice, not perfection. The more you speak, the faster your brain gets at forming sentences naturally. If you always stop to think about grammar and vocabulary before speaking, you'll never develop the speed and confidence you need. Think about how babies learn to talk. They don't study grammar first, right? They just listen, repeat, and keep talking, even if they make mistakes. Over time, their speech improves naturally. Adults can learn the same way. Instead of waiting for your English to be perfect, speak as much as possible. Mistakes are part of the process. Here's another way to think about it. When you're learning to ride a bike, you don't read a book about it first. You just get on the bike and start pedaling. You might fall a few times, but that's how you learn. Speaking English is the same. You have to start talking, even if you're not perfect. Now, let's get into the most exciting part, practical tips to help you stop overthinking and start speaking confidently. Okay, let's start with the first tip, think in English. This is one of the most powerful tips I can give you. Instead of translating from your native language, try to think directly in English. For example, if you're making coffee, say in your head, I am pouring water into the cup. The coffee smells amazing. You can practice this every day. Just describe what you're doing or what you see around you. It's a simple way to make English a natural part of your thoughts. Now let's move to the second tip. Don't worry about grammar. Yes, grammar is important, but communication comes first. Even if you make a mistake, people will still understand you. For example, if you say, I go to store yesterday, instead of, I went to the store yesterday, it's okay. The message is clear. Focus on getting your point across, not on sounding perfect. Next up, practice with yourself. Don't have a speaking partner? No problem. You can talk to yourself in front of a mirror or describe what you see around you. For example, if you're in a park, say, "There are many trees here. The weather is nice. People are walking and talking." This helps you get comfortable speaking out loud, even if you're alone. Now let's talk about shadowing. This is a great technique to improve your pronunciation and fluency. Listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say immediately. You can use YouTube videos, podcasts, or even movies for this. For example, if you hear someone say, "How are you doing today?" repeat it exactly the way they say it. If you're enjoying these tips, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. I share practical advice and techniques to help you improve your English faster. Here's another tip. Keep it simple. Use short, simple sentences instead of trying to make long, complicated ones. For example, instead of saying, "I would like to discuss an important matter with you," just say, "Let's talk about something important." Simple is always better when you're starting out. Now this is important. Embrace mistakes. Every mistake is proof that you're learning. Don't be afraid to make them. They're part of the journey. For example, if you say, "She don't like apples," instead of "She doesn't like apples," it's okay. You'll learn from it and do better next time. Next tip, immerse yourself in English. Surround yourself with the language as much as possible. Listen to English podcasts, watch movies, and try to think in English every day. The more you hear English, the easier it becomes to speak naturally. Finally, set a speaking challenge. Challenge yourself to speak English for 5 minutes every day without stopping. Even if you don't know a word, find another way to express your idea. For example, if you don't know the word umbrella, you can say, "The thing you use when it rains." Now let's talk about mindset shifts to help you become a more confident speaker. Let's start with the first mindset shift. Confidence comes from action. Here's the thing. Many learners wait to feel confident before they start speaking, but the truth is, confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after action. So, don't wait to feel ready. Just start talking now. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become. Next up, forget perfection. Here's a secret. Communication is more important than perfection. Even native speakers make mistakes all the time. So, don't stress about being flawless. Focus on getting your message across. If people understand you, that's what matters. Now let's talk about mistakes. Here's a mindset shift. Mistakes are proof of learning. Instead of feeling embarrassed when you make a mistake, see it as evidence that you're improving. Every mistake you make is a step forward in your learning journey. Here's another important mindset shift. Compare yourself to your past self. Don't worry about how others are doing. Focus on your own progress. Ask yourself, am I better than I was yesterday? If the answer is yes, then you're winning. Finally, embrace discomfort. Speaking a new language can feel uncomfortable at first, and that's completely normal. Remember, growth happens outside your comfort zone. So, don't be afraid to step out of it. Before we wrap up, here's some final encouragement. Learning English is a journey, and it's okay to feel frustrated sometimes. But remember, every time you speak, you're improving. Even if you make mistakes, even if you don't sound perfect, you're growing. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start speaking. The perfect moment is right now. If you keep waiting, you'll stay in the same place. But if you speak today, even just a little, you'll be further ahead tomorrow. And don't let fear stop you. Most people admire you for trying. They respect your effort. No one is judging you as much as you think. You are capable. You are smart enough to learn English. You are strong enough to overcome challenges. And you already have everything you need to succeed. The only thing left to do is start talking. That's it for today's video. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more practical advice and motivation. Remember, stop thinking, start talking. See you in the next video.